Okay, I'm going to go ahead and give you two more examples of difference quotient on a rational, just because these are the ones that students usually struggle with the most. So let's go over number one, then we'll go over number two. First part, change x to be x plus h. So it'd look like this. Okay, then it's a minus in the middle. Then it's just the original function, 1 over x plus 3. That's all over h. Now, if you watched the previous video, I don't like this minus right here. I change it. Change it to a plus, and I distribute it to the numerator of the fraction afterwards. All right, now you're going to have to get a common denominator for this top part. So the easiest way to do this is to just take the fraction on the left and multiply it by the denominator of the fraction on the right, like this. Oh boy. Okay, like this. And then same thing for the fraction on the right, use this denominator. So it'd look like this. All right, don't multiply the bottom out. Just leave this bottom part as is for now. But you will have to multiply the top part out. So this one's rather easy because it's just going to be a 1 that I'm distributing to both of these things, which isn't going to change that x plus 3. So the first part would look like this. All right, it's a plus in the middle. This part I'll have to distribute, and it's going to change all those signs. So it'd look like this, negative x minus h minus 3. Then don't forget it's still all over h. Okay, now that the denominators are the same here, you can combine the numerator. You can combine all this as if it was written on one line. So the positive x and the minus x cancel, the plus 3 and the minus 3 cancel. So when it's all said and done, you have a negative h over that same denominator. And then it's all over h. Okay, now is when I do, instead of it's over h, it's over h over 1, right there. Same thing. And the reason I do this is because I'm going to bring this fraction up here. I'm going to make it a multiply, and I'm going to flip this fraction. So it's like 1 over h like this. And the whole point of doing this is now I can look and see this h is going to cancel here. Notice the negative does not cancel. So when I go to write my answer, it's a negative 1 on top, and then it's over that same denominator. Hope that made sense. Look, here's a kind of an example of what I'm doing. If I had 2/3 divided by 3, I would change this to be 3 over 1. I would take this fraction and I would flip it. So this 2/3 part wouldn't change, but I would change the divide to a multiply and then flip this fraction, 3 over 1, to be 1/3. So this answer would be 2/9. That's what I'm doing when I do this part. Okay, let's go ahead and work through the second one. When you write x plus h, this first part, both of these letter x's are going to get changed. So it's going to look like this. Okay, and again, if you watch that other video, I tell you that a lot of students like to cancel like these x's. Please don't. That's a trinomial. You can't do that. All right, it's a minus in the middle. Then it's the original equation. Then it's all over h. All right, I do not like this minus in the middle. So I'm changing it to a plus. Now, when I distribute that negative to the numerator, it changes both of these signs. That's really important to know. Okay, now is where you focus on your common denominator. So this fraction over here is going to get multiplied by this denominator. Then vice versa. This fraction over here is going to get multiplied by this denominator. Okay, now this one's going to be kind of tricky because you're going to have to FOIL out the top part here. And you're going to have to FOIL out the top part here. So this is what it should look like. You're going to have, and when I do this, I say FOIL, but really I'm just going to distribute the x to everything, and then I'm going to distribute the 4 to everything. That's how I'm going to do this. So this is what it would look like. So this right here is just this top part. It's over that common denominator. All right, it's a plus in the middle because I changed it, remember? Now, same thing over here. I'm going to distribute the negative x to everything, and then I'm going to distribute the 4 to everything as well. So that would look like this. And then it's over that common denominator. And then this is all over that letter H. It's easy to forget that part. Okay, now I'm at the cancel stage. Since these have a common denominator, I can act like it's just one giant numerator. All of this stuff can be canceled with each other. So like this minus 4x, the plus 4x. I have a minus 16 and a plus 16. Over here, I have a minus 4x and a plus 4x. I've got a 4h and a 4h that are going to combine and be like terms. That seems wrong, but I'm going to trust my math here. I can cancel this x squared and minus x squared, this plus xh and minus xh. So when it's all said and done, I have just this 4h and 4h on top. That's going to combine and become 8h over that common denominator. If you can hear my daughter crying in the background, I'm sorry. And then it's all over h. Now this is the part where I change it to be h over 1, and I flip it and multiply. And so now I can cancel the h's and write my answer. My answer here would be 8 over the common denominator. All right, so that is how I would do those. Hope this video helped you get a better understanding of a rational difference quotient. They can be kind of tricky.